That's so funny. Okay, girl, let me call you back later. All right, thanks. I'm sorry. Let me ask you all a question. How many times a day does this happen to you? According to an article titled Can't Put Down the Phone, How Smartphones Are Changing Our Brains and Lives, put out by NBCnews.com, one study showed that Americans touch their mobile devices more than 2,600 times a day. The fact that people are walking around on their phones, staring at them at all times of the day, is becoming a problem. Today, I want to show why it is important that we should be aware of our cell phone use, because they do indeed negatively affect our health, our relationships, and our lives. We should put them down and be more in the moment in our lives. We often put our health at risk for our own satisfaction. According to nationalgeographic.com, the constant connectivity and access to information have made the devices something of a drug for hundreds of millions of users. Scientists have reported adverse health effects of using mobile devices. They report changes in our brain activity, our reaction times, and our sleep patterns. Our health should be more of a concern for all of us. Cell phones emit radio frequency energies that can be absorbed by tissues in our body that are close to the phone. The amount that we receive depends on the factors such as the distance from our phone. Many of us carry our phones in our back pockets or in our hands, and many women carry them in their bra. While it is still not established that cell phone increases the risk of brain tumors or cancer, we must consider that research is not complete. With scientists only having data that goes back 15 years, this warrants more research on the relationship to cell phone uses and cancer. But why should we risk it? Our cell phone addiction negatively affects our relationships and our lives with everyone that we come into contact with. The more time you spend on your phone, the less concentrated you are to those around you. A professor at Baylor University by the name of James Roberts advised that we have to allow time for one-on-one contact with everyone in our lives. This applies to our spouses, our children, our friends, our coworkers alike. Our interaction with our loved ones are not as great as they used to be before we had cell phones. How many of you eat dinner with your loved ones at the table without once looking at your phone? How many of you have watched a movie, a complete movie with a loved one, and not once picked it up? How many of you sit down and have an hour-long conversation and not once look at your phone? Our cell phone addiction can be curbed if we purposely be aware of the usage, and if we take the steps necessary to balance our life with our devices. First, we must change our behaviors with cell phones so that we live more in the moment than in our virtual reality world. Every minute spent on our phones takes away from time we could be spending on more important things in life, such as sleep, family time, work, and leisure time. Our children will learn from our cell phone behavior. They will learn to spend more amounts of time on their phones instead of playing outside or learning other important things in life. They may also feel neglected because their parents seem to care more about their cell phone than they do their child. Cell phone addictions can be prevented if we take the proper steps. Imagine if a cell phone company only allows a certain amount of time to be spent on apps that are not considered work-related, such as email, Excel, or Word documents. Imagine if cell phones let users do as they wish, but then look back over their time used on those games, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitters, and other apps, and charge significantly higher rates for those who do those things constantly. We personally can prevent ourselves from becoming cell phone addicts if we take our own steps to not overuse our cell phones. We can monitor the time spent on our phones by looking at our usage on all of our apps, or by looking at, quote, our time spent, unquote, on the profiles that we're on all the time. We can program our phones to manage the time for all of the apps so that it will not allow us to use those apps outside of those timelines. Do you guys have any questions for me today?
What made you choose this topic?
The reason that I chose this topic is that I noticed how much you as my daughter spend on your phone, and I know how much time I spend on my phone. This is what made me want to research the topic.
Will you start these techniques to not use your cell phone as much?
Now that I've done the research on this project, I feel that I should concentrate more on how much time I spend on my phone and make a conscious effort to put my phone down and be more in the moment with those around me. Thank you.